Here's where it gets even better. The remaining 42,500 euros doesn't come out of your pocket all at once. That part is gradually covered through rental income once your home is operating. Basically, while you're enjoying your winters here or even living elsewhere, your place quietly pays itself off in about 2 years. And after that, everything it earns goes straight to you. The bad thing is you don't have to manage a single thing. The management team handles guests, cleaning, check-ins, even reports. You can be thousands of kilometers away and see your property working for you. Imagine this rhythm. You spend 3 or 4 months in Bali. Barefoot mornings, slow coffee, ocean breeze. Then you fly back home. And while you're living your usual life, your Bali home continues to host guests and bring income. It's not about owning property, it's about creating balance. That's the quiet secret here. It's not complicated, it's just a new way of living. So, one that gives you sunlight, freedom, and peace of mind. So, guys, just to remind you, this life is all about Bali, real life, real homes, and how they can quietly support you when you're not here. Here is what I found most beautiful. People who buy homes here don't do it like they are buying stocks. It's not a cold calculation, it's personal. They want to be here, even if just for a few months each year. Your villa becomes your winter escape and your summer side hustle. Some decorate their apartments exactly how they like. Get to know the neighborhood cafes, have their "this is my sunset spot." Others go for villas with pools, outdoor kitchens, frangipani in the garden. Other way, it's not just real estate, it's their valley, their corner of the world. And when they are away, they don't let it sit empty. Travelers come, stay a few weeks, fall in love with the space, leave glowing reviews because these places are cared for like homes, not managed like faceless hotels. And the system here makes it easy. Property managers, cleaners, photographers, maintenance teams, the entire ecosystem already exists. You can live in Europe while your Bali home quietly runs itself. So, if you had a place here, would you keep it private or rent it out while you're away? Drop your answers below. And for many people, this is not an investment, it's a lived in dream that sustains itself. So today I've got something really exciting to show you. A new modern complex right here in Bali. You can already see some of it behind me. Sunlight, palm trees, calm air, and these beautiful villas that somehow make everyday life feel like vacation. So so many people talk about Bali as a dream destination. But what if it didn't have to be someday? What if you could start smaller with a place that's truly yours, that you can enjoy for a few months each year, and that quietly pays for itself when you are not here? Let's break down how it actually works. This whole project is built around the idea smart living in Bali. Modern home that mix comfort, design, and simplicity. The entire process for building to maintenance is handled by professionals. You don't need to manage anything yourself. You show up, unlock the door, and enjoy your place. And when you're away, your home is not empty, it's alive. It welcomes travelers, families, remote workers, people who come to Bali all year long. Here's what I like about it everything is already planned out. You don't build from scratch, you simply join something that's running smoothly. There are two easy paths. You can either pay gradually while it's being built or make a one time payment when it's ready. And the best part, when the home is finished, it immediately starts earning. The rental income covers its own cost over time. It's not about chasing profit, it's about balance. Living smarter, calmer, freer. Take a look at the visuals behind me. It's all transparent, stage by stage. Foundation work starts end of 2025. The main structure is ready by middle 2026, and by 2027 owners are already moving in. Everything follows a clear schedule, no chaos. No, we will see what happens. So when the villas are finished, they immediately start working. Guests come, families, long stay travelers, people escaping winter. Their stay cover the remaining payments automatically. And once they're done, your property simply starts earning for you. So how it's managed? You don't have to be here full time to make it work. The same team that built the complex takes care of everything. Bookings, cleanings, maintenance, guest support, even reports. So when you do arrive in Bali, your home's already spotless, comfortable, and ready. No stress, no calls, just you, your coffee, and the sound of the ocean. So here is the thing, Bali is not just another tropical postcard. It's one of the most visited islands in the world. And not just for vacations. There is a constant flow of digital nomads, families, creatives, and wellness travelers. That's why these homes rarely stay empty. There is always someone who wants a bit of sun and simplicity instead of gray skies and traffic. With proper management, it's not just a place to stay, it's peace of mind. So, and lifestyle. So, you spend your winters here, morning lights, palm trees, breakfast for the pool. Then you fly back home for summer. And while you're away, your home keeps working quietly in the background. And when you come back, it's all still yours, familiar, warm, alive. That's what I love most about this. It's not about chasing a fantasy, it's about building a rhythm that actually makes sense. One that blends comfort, freedom, and stability. So, guys, stay tuned. I have a lot of interesting for you. So, if you just joined, welcome. So, we're talking about life in Bali, beautiful villas, cozy apartments, and how people here earn even while they are away. So, another underrated treasure of Bali, the people. Designers from Bali, entrepreneurs from Sydney, yoga teachers from Brazil, filmmakers from Paris, all sitting in the same cafe swapping stories. In Bali, friendships find you. Half the cafe has surfboards, the other half has laptops. Here, conversations are not just about work or weather. You talk about ideas, lifestyle, spirituality, adventures. You make genuine friends in unexpected places. Sunrise yoga, co working tables, beach walks. If you could meet inspiring people over coffee, who would they be? Drop their country vibe in the chart. The best part, no one cares about titles. You connect as humans first. That kind of environment change how you see the world. So let's be real for a moment. Bali can be expensive. If you are chasing that influencer fantasy with private villas, jeeps, and endless beach clubs. But that's just one version of the island. The truth? You can live incredibly well here without overspending. Bali is not expensive, it's adaptable. Here, your quality of life doesn't depend on how much you spend. So, let me show you what a normal month actually looks like. Scooter, around 60 € a month, and it's your ticket to freedom. Fresh lunch, 4 or 5 € for grilled fish, veggies, rice, and maybe even a smoothie on the side. Great coffee, 2 €, often with a sea view. Housing, modern apartment or villa, often with a pool for less than what you'd pay for a small flat in Europe. And the best part, you are not cutting corners. You are just living slower, healthier, calmer. You wake up to sunlight, eat food that actually tastes alive, spend more time outdoors, and somehow your days start to feel longer. Back in Europe, I used to feel like I was working just to afford breathing space. Here, I finally have it. So tell me, guys, how much does a good coffee cost where you live? Drop in the chart your answer. I'm genuinely curious. Because once you realize how far your money stretches here, you stop chasing more and start appreciating enough. That the quiet abundance Bali gives you. And it makes life feel richer in every sense of the word. This is honestly one of my favorite things about living here. Bali fits you, not the other way around. You don't have to choose one type of life, you can live in a bright little studio tucked between cafes and yoga spots. A modern apartment with a rooftop pool and ocean views. A quiet bungalow surrounded by rice fields and the sound of frogs at night. Or a spacious villa with a garden full of palm trees swaying in the warm wind. From Pinterest perfect villas to simple, soulful studios, Bali has your rhythm. Here, your home doesn't just shelter you, it becomes part of your story. And the best part, the most places come fully furnished and move-in ready. No assembling furniture at midnight, no endless store trips. You arrive, unpack, maybe light a candle, and instantly it feels like home. Some people choose to stay by the ocean for morning swims. Others move inland for quiet sunset over the fields. There is no right valley. There is just the one that matches your energy. So tell me, what's your dream setup? Drop emoji for apartment, for villa, or for bungalow in the chart. So people always ask, where should I live? Honestly, the island chooses you. There is no best area in Bali, only the one that feels like home to you. Bali is like a playlist. Every area has its own rhythm. Kangoo, creative energy, surfing, cafes, nightlife. Ubud, spiritual, artistic, quiet. Sanur, sunrise beaches, calm seas, families, new hospital coming soon. Uluwatu, epic sunset, cliffs, villas. Jimbaran, seafood at sunset, quiet. Denpasar, local daily life. So guys, which one's calling you? Drop emoji for each city. And it's better to spend a few days in each. One morning you'll wake up and just know this is it. This is my place. And alright, let's switch gears a little and talk about the thing you don't expect Bali to teach you. Bali gives you lesson you never signed up for, but end up loving. So, for example, if you leave your phone alone, the monkeys might just think it's theirs. Yes, I learned that one personally. I left my phone on the table at a beach cafe for literally 3 seconds. And next thing I know, a cheeky monkey swoops in like it's Mission Impossible, grabbed the phone and climbed up a tree. The whole cafe turned into an audience. I had to negotiate with the banana to get my phone back. And zero regrets, maximum entertainment. You also pick up scooter skills way faster than you'd think. You learn that flip-flops are legitimate footwear for almost any occasion. And sunset time, that's a sacred daily ritual. Everyone stops, heads to the shore and watch the sky melt into pink and oranges together. So, chat time, guys. What the funniest or strangest travel experience you've ever had? I want to hear your stories in the comments. But honestly, the biggest lesson, you stop sprinting. Life moves at a slower rhythm here, but somehow everything still gets done. Bali doesn't just change your plans, it rewrites your pace. So let me tell you a little personal story, the one where everything shifted. When I arrived, I wasn't house hunting. I wasn't chasing the dream. I just wanted some sound peace and to give my mind a breather. I didn't come looking for a house. I came searching for a feeling. And one day during a casual walk, I I passed by this small apartment, around 60,000 euros, 5 minutes from the ocean. It had these bright rooms, a little balcony, and I could hear the waves if I stood quietly. It wasn't fancy, it was real, and it was cheaper than most one bedrooms in Berlin or Warsaw. I stood there thinking, this could actually work. Then my inner mathematician kicked in. How long would it take to cover the price with rent? Turns out, place like that easily rent for 800 1,000 euros a month, year round. The man doesn't sleep here. So, guessing game. How many years do you think it takes for a place like that to pay itself off? Drop your guess in the chart. And a few days later, I toured a villa around 150,000 euros. Two bedrooms, palm trees swaying over a crystal pool, an open air kitchen where you can cook bare food. It felt like stepping into a daydream. It wasn't just a viewing, it felt like walking through a version of life I didn't know I wanted. On Airbnb, similar villas rent for 800 150 euros per night, around 25 30,000 annually if booked consistently. Not bad for something that also gives you endless sunset. And daily life, surprisingly practical. Scooter, 60 euro a month. Healthy lunch, 5 euro. Great coffee, 2 euro. Compare that to Paris or Amsterdam, and well, you see the difference. So, guys, how much does a good cappuccino cost where you live? So, I'm really curious. Type in the comments. And what really won me over, though, what the variety. You've got airy studio with the big windows, jungle bungalows, modern apartments near co-working hubs, full villas with gardens and yoga decks. And one of my friends bought a villa for 250,000 euros. He lives here part-time, rents it the rest, and recouped the cost in around 6 years. But for both of us, this wasn't numbers game. It was about having a play that feels like home. So if you had 200,000 right now, would you go for a villa by the sea or keep it in the bank? Type villa or bank in the comments. And honestly, the community sealed the deal. You grab a coffee, and next to you is someone building a startup, a yoga teacher, or a remote designer. It happens organically. No name tags, just life intersecting. So, remote workers, raise your hands. Who could imagine working here part time? And it wasn't about buying property, it was about finding a space where my soul exhaled. So, let's get a little perspective for a second, because honestly, the numbers speak for themselves. For the price of a tiny one bed flat in Europe, you could be living in a full Bali villa with your own pool, garden, and a palm trees swinging outside the window. So what 100,000 euros buys you in Paris? A studio. And what it buys you in Bali? A life that feels like vacation. And it's not just about the property. Everyday life tells the same story. In Amsterdam or London, 10 euro barely covers a coffee and a croissant. In Bali, 10 euros gets you a smoothie bowl, a fresh juice, and a full lunch overlooking the ocean. Transport, groceries, cafes, wellness, it all goes further here. But what really matters is not just what you spend less on, it's what you get more of. More time, more sunlight, more balance. Here, your money doesn't just buy things, it buys freedom. You stop counting days until the next holiday because your daily life already feels like one. So, guys, I'm curious where you're watching from. What does 10 euro get you there? Drop in the chart your answers. And this part still makes me grin every time I think about it. Because honestly, I didn't plan any of this. I wasn't searching for a tropical investment. The island kind of just found me. One afternoon, I walked past a sign 60,000 euros bright apartment, 5 minutes from the beach. Out of curiosity, I went to see it. Sunlit living room, tiny balcony with the palm shadows dancing across the walls. And I literally laughed because my friend in Warsaw was paying more for a grey apartment with zero palm trees and an eternal view of rain. He bought a skyline of clouds, and I found sunlight for less. So, what amazed me even more was how simple the math was. Place like that doesn't sit empty. They rent easily for 801,000 euro per month, all year round. There is always someone looking for a place to stay. Digital nomads, long-term travelers, families escaping winter. Then came the villa moment. I stepped through a gate and there it was. 150,000 euros, two bedrooms, an open air kitchen, and a pool reflecting palm leaves like a postcard brought to life. The agent said it rents for 150 euros a night, bringing in around 25-30,000 euros a year. And honestly, standing there barefoot, hearing the breeze and distant waves, it didn't feel like a sales pitch. It felt like possibility, the kind that sneaks up on you while you slows down just enough to notice it. It wasn't a dream home on Pinterest. It was real and it was here. I was standing in it. So guys, today I want to show you something special. This beautiful villa right here in Bali that you can already see behind me. Palm trees, open space, the sound of ocean somewhere close. And what's even more interesting is how people make homes like this work for them. You know, most people dream about having a place on the island one day. But what if it didn't have to stay a dream? What if you, about the price of a small apartment in Warsaw, you can actually own something like this? That's not only brings you joy, but quietly supports you when you're away. So, a real example. This villa you see now costs about 107,500 euros in total. It's part of a modern residential complex. Bright, minimalistic design, you can see. A lot of glass, private pool, and just a few minutes from the beach. Basically, everything people imagine when they think Bali life. It's here. And the best part is you don't need to pay everything at once. The process is simple and transparent. Step by step payments. Here how it works. The first payment 32,250 euros. It's made when you sign the contract. And around November 2025 you add another 21,500 euros. That cover the foundation stage. And during middle 2026, when the main structure goes up, you contribute another 11,250 euros. And by early 2027, construction is complete. And you get your keys. Everything is organized in stage. No rush, no chaos, no guesswork. So here where it gets really interesting. The remaining 42,500 euros is not something you have to pull from your savings. That part is gradually covered by the villa itself through short-term or long-term rentals once it's finished. So while you spend part of the year living here, enjoying warm mornings, slow breakfasts, maybe working remotely, your home continues to host travelers, families, and digital nomads while you're away. In just about 2 years, it covers its own cost. And from then on, what it earns simply becomes your extra income. And the best part, you don't have to manage a single thing yourself. The same professional team that built this complex takes care of everything: bookings, cleaning, maintenance, check ins, gas service, even detailed reports. You can be anywhere in the world and still see your Bali home working quietly for you. And when you return, it's spotless, welcoming, and ready. So Bali is not just about palm trees and beaches. It's one of the most visited islands in the world. There is always someone looking for a warm place to stay. Families, digital nomads, couples, and wellness travelers. That's why homes like this really stay empty. So you're not choosing between business and lifestyle. You're creating both comfort for yourself and stability for the rest of the year. So imagine this rhythm. You spend your winters here, barefoot mornings, light rain that lasts 10 minutes, work calls with an ocean breeze. Then you fly home for the summer. And while you're living your usual life, your villa keeps working quietly in the backgrounds. That's the beauty of Bali. Your home doesn't just belong to you, it lives with you, even when you're away. So, guys, stay tuned. I'll show you more of this place in a moment. The interiors, the neighborhood, and how this exact villa became part of my daily rhythm. This is Bali, sunlight, calm, and home that truly takes care of you. So, can you even imagine this? Because honestly, sometimes I still can't. Look, is not a resort. This is not a hotel. It's an actual home. A private villa right here in Bali. Sunlight, palm trees, your own pool, and the crazy part, it costs around 107,500 euros. That's less than what people pay for a small grey apartment somewhere in Europe. With no palm trees, no ocean, and definitely no morning breeze like this. For the price of a one bedroom flat, you could literally wake up here. And what's even better, you don't have to pay all at once. Everything is structured clearly, step by step. Here is how it goes. When you sign, you start with 32,250 euros. Then around November 2025, you add another 21,500 euros when the foundation is complete. And by the middle 2026, when the main structure rises, it's 11,250 euros. And finally, by early 2027, you get your keys and walk into this. Now, here is the best part. The final part of the cost, around 42,500 euros, doesn't come out of your pocket. The villa itself starts covering it once it's finished. How? Through rental income. Families, digital nomads, travelers, the people who feel Bali every single month of the year. While you live your life, your home here works quietly in the background. And you don't have to do a thing. The same team that built this complex takes care of everything: bookings, maintenance, cleaning, check ins. You just open your app, see the reports, and know everything's running smoothly. So let's be real. This is not just some tropical fantasy. This is a working, real life rhythm people have already figured out. Spend your winters here, barefoot mornings, calm energy, coffee by the pool. Fly home for summer, and your villa keeps working. And when you come back, it's waiting for you, spotless, peaceful, and yours. So, yeah, imagine this being your morning view. Because for the same price as an average city flat, this could actually be your life. Some people buy square meters, others buy mornings like this. So, guys, stay with me in a second. I'll walk you inside this villa and show you what living here really feels like. Okay, let's get real for a moment, because not everything in Bali is golden sunset and smoothie bowls. Yes, it's paradise, but it's real life too. And there are a few things I genuinely wish someone had told me before I came. Even paradise has Wi-Fi hiccups sometimes. Yes, the weather has a personality. The rainy season is absolutely real. It doesn't ruin the magic, far from it, but it does require a little flexibility. One minute you're walking under blue skies, and the next you're caught in a sudden tropical downpour that feels like someone turned on a warm shower above your head. The trick? Always keep a poncho in your scooter or bag and embrace the unpredictability instead of fighting it. Rain here often passes quickly, leaving behind lush greenery and cooler air. If you never driven a scooter before, this will be your new rite of passage. At first, it feels awkward and maybe a little intimidating, but give it a week and it becomes second nature. The freedom of zipping through palm-lined streets or catching the sunrise on morning's ride is something you can put into words. The Wi-Fi in most places is strong enough for remote work, but you have to get a plan B because Bali is not completely immune to outages. Having a local SIM card with hotspot data is a lifesaver, especially if your work depends on stable internet. It's a simple fix that saves a lot of stress. Bali is alive. Literally, geckos, frogs, and the occasional curious bug might find their way into your home. At first, it can be surprising, but you quickly learn that these little creatures are just part of the ecosystem here. And geckos, they are actually help keep insects away. So they are like a tiny house guardians. Bureaucracy takes a bit of patience. Visas, extensions, registrations, the paperwork can feel like a puzzle the first time around. It's not scary, just a learning curve. Once you understand the process or work with a local agent, it becomes pretty routine. So, interactive. What's one real life thing that would make you nervous about living abroad? Drop it in the chart and build it a fantasy, it's lifestyle. So these weird aren't deal breakers, they are part of the adventure. And honestly, they make life here feel more grounded and authentic. The beautiful thing is you adapt faster than you'd ever expect. Guys, don't go anywhere. I'm about to show you what a real Bali morning looks like when your home is both comfort and income. Here is something I observed after years of meeting people from all over the world here in Bali. Everyone's story begins differently, but almost every story ends the same way. People come for the beaches, they stay for a way they breathe here. Some arrive for a few months of remote work, imagining it as just another stop on their digital nomad journey. Others land here carrying heartbreak, burnout, or a quiet desire to reset. And some simply want to escape the endless gray skies and cold winters back home. But then something happens. Somewhere between the warm sunrises, the slow mornings walks, the casual chats with strangers who feel like friends, and the rhythm of daily life that doesn't rush you, something inside shifts. Your shoulders relax, your breath gets deeper, your mind finally has space to notice the small things again. The sound of waves at night, the smell of incense differing from nearby temple, the way the light turns golden just before sunset. So, interactive. Why do you think you would come to Bali? What would you draw you here? Work, rest, warmth, adventure? Drop your reasons in the chart. And this is what no travel brochure even really tells you. This is not just about moving abroad or finding a new base. It's about rediscovering what living well actually feels like. People don't stay because of some grand plan. They stay because Bali has a way of quietly rearranging your rhythm. Bali is not about escaping life. It's about finding a better way to live it. So you know what always makes me smile? Whenever people hear the phrase buying a place in Bali. Their minds instantly jump to this dramatic movie plot, selling all their belongings, saying emotional goodbyes, moving across the world to start an entirely new life. But here is the truth, that's not how most people actually do it. In reality, what I see here again and again is something way more flexible and honestly way smarter. Some people come for the 3 months of sunshine and their house works for them the other night. There are people who give everything up to move permanently. They are families, couples, freelancers, and retirees who found a rhythm that blend the best of both worlds. Here is how it usually looks. They buy a cozy apartment near the beach or a small villa tucked between palm trees. Then, instead of relocating full time, they spend a few months a year living here. Typically during the European winter, when everything back home is grey, wet, and freezing. In December, you step off the plane, and instead of going to a hotel, you arrive at your own place. You unpack, slide into flip flops, hop on a scooter, and your winter commute becomes a breezy ride through quiet streets lined with frangipani trees. You work from a cafe overlooking the ocean, greet the same barista each morning, and every day watching the sunset melt into the horizon. Your biggest daily decision, nasi goreng or smoothie bowl for lunch. So, interactive guys, if you could spend one season living in Bali, which would you choose? Dry season or rainy season? Drop your answer in the chat. Then, when March or April rolled around and Europe starts to warm up, you fly back. You hand your keys to a local property management team, and they take over. Your place doesn't sit empty, it turns into a boutique style rental. Tourists arrive for peak season, families on holiday, surfers chasing perfect waves, remote workers seeking sunshine, and while you're sipping coffee back home, your villa is out here earning its keep. It's not about choosing between Europe and Bali, it's about having both. And that's the beauty of it. It's not an all or nothing move. You don't have to uproot your entire life. You keep up community, your family, your career, and at the same time, you build this second chapter, one that involves sound ranch mornings, slower living, and a different kind of energy. For so many people, this hybrid rhythm feels natural. It's balanced. It gives you the emotional joy of having a place in paradise, while still being practical and financially sensible. And hey, if you're vibing with these Bali lifestyle stories and want to catch the next deep dive, make sure to hit follow. Alright, let's shift the spotlight for a moment and talk about Sanur, a play that's quietly turning into one of the most strategic, comfortable, and forward moving areas on Bali East Coast. It's not just about postcard sunset and calm water here. Sanur combines old school charm with the major new developments, and honestly, that's what makes it so special. So, Sanur sits on the southeastern coast of Bali, only about 30 minutes from the airport and Denpasar city, which already makes it super convenient for families, frequent travelers, and anyone who doesn't want to spend half their day in traffic. Historically, Sanur was one of the very first resort towns on the island. Decades later, it still carried that relaxed, welcoming spirit, but now it's evolving. Its coastline stretches from Matahari Turbid in the north down to Murtadari in the south. A beautiful strip lined with quiet beaches, shallow turquoise water that are perfect for kids, and gentle promenade where locals and expats walk, jog, or ride bicycles in the mornings. The atmosphere peaceful, walkable, authentic. Think small cafes, local shops, and boutique hotels instead of nightclubs and crowds. Sanur is where the ocean is calm, the mornings are golden, and life actually slows down. Here's where it gets really interesting. Sanur is not frozen in time. It's in the middle of transformation that blends infrastructure, health tourism, and sustainability. In 2025, the Indonesian government officially launched a special economic zone, so focus entirely on international standard healthcare and wellness. This development includes hospitals, clinics, rehabilitation centers, hotels, and wellness facilities, all designed to make Sanur a global hub for medical tourism and recovery. This shift means the area is not just attracting vacationers, it's drawing professionals, patients, wellness travelers, and long term visitors from around the world. Sanur also has a clear green tourism plan. Authorities are working with local communities and businesses to ensure development happens responsibly, protecting the environment, preserving cultural heritage, and improving public spaces rather than overbuilding. Unlike some other coastal areas, Sanur already has a strong base. International schools nearby, like Bali International School, a well-maintained promenade and coastal road for walking and sailing, easy access to grab, gojek, and scooters for short trips, a community layout that feels safe, connected, and functional. And one of Sanur's greatest strengths is how comfortable and family oriented it is. The calm sea, shallow beaches, and slower rhythm make it ideal for children and parents alike. There are kids' cafes, playgrounds, and family amenities like Kids Cafe Sanur. Plus, neighborhoods that are quiet and walkable. You find plenty of restaurants and shops, but none of the chaos of places like Kuta or Seminyak. Expat and local families love it because it gives them the best of both worlds, a relaxed coastal life without feeling isolated. So, Sanur feels like a secret village by the sea, calm, cozy, and connected. So, let's break down why this area is getting so much attention and why many people see it as a smart lifestyle choice. So, with the ICZ, Sanur is set to become Bali's wellness capital, attracting long stay visitors, professionals, and higher quality infrastructure. Unlike strictly seasonal destinations, Sanur sees steady demand throughout the years thanks to its beaches, events, and family appeal. Historically, Sanur was a center of Balinese art. Painters, artisans, and cultural figures shaped its identity. That artistic soul still lives on. Strict environmental planning will preserve its green spaces and livability, making it a place where development doesn't destroy the vibe. So locals and expats genuinely know their neighbors here because it's less chaotic. There is a sense of belonging you don't always find in tourist hotspots. Sanur doesn't shout like Kangoo, it whispers, and people are starting to listen. So, if you imagine yourself in Bali and value comfort, community health, and stable growth, Sanur is absolutely worth keeping on your radar. It's not just a beach town, it's a rising hub with his own soul. And all right, just a quick reminder, guys. We are talking about life here in Bali, the homes, the villas, and how people make them not only cozy but profitable. So stay tuned, I've got more to show you. Here is something I absolutely love about life in Bali. Your home doesn't have to fit into a single box. For many people here, their property becomes both a deeply personal sanctuary to enjoy and a smart, effortless way to support their lifestyle when they are not on the island. Your winter escape can become your summer side hustle. So, picture this. You have a bright, airy apartment just a short walk from the beach, or perhaps a small villa tucked among palm trees, complete with a pool and outdoor lounge. For a few months each year, typically during Europe's colder, grayer season, this is where you live. You wake up to the sound of tropical birds instead of car horns. You step outside and feel warm air on your skin. You hop on a scooter, grab a fresh smoothie bowl, and set up your laptop in a cafe with an ocean breeze flowing through. This is not a vacation. This is your everyday life for that season. Then, when spring or summer arrives and you fly back home, you don't just lock the door and let the house sit empty. Instead, your place starts welcoming guests. Families escaping their cities for the holidays, digital nomads settling in for a few months of remote work, travelers from the opposite hemisphere chasing their own slice of sun. And here is the beauty of it. You are not required to become a hotel manager. You don't need to handle endless messages, coordinate cleaning, or stress about check ins. Bali already has experienced local teams and property managers who take care of everything detailed: listings, bookings, guest communication, maintenance, cleaning, the whole package. Your home quietly transforms into a seasonal lifestyle. Business hybrid working for you while you're thousands of kilometers away. So, interactive guys, if you owned a home here, how many months of the year would you personally live in it? Drop your numbers in the chat. So, your villa is not just a place to live, it becomes part of your life rhythm. And that's the magic. You don't have to choose between living in paradise and being practical. You can have both. A play that gives you freedom when you're here and support when you're not. So, one of the first questions people ask me is, but what happens when you're not on the island? Who takes care of everything? And honestly, the answer is simpler than most expect. Bali already has an entire system in place for you. You're not running a hotel. The hotel practically runs itself. Over the years, Bali has become one of the most visited destinations in the world. As a result, a whole ecosystem of professional services has evolved. Smooth, reliable, and surprisingly hands off. Whether you own a beachfront studio or a spacious villa with a pool, you can hand over the keys and trust that everything will continue to run like clockwork while you're thousands of kilometers away. So, property listing, it's about like that. Experienced teams will photograph your home, craft listings, and upload them to Airbnb, Booking.com, and local booking platforms to keep your calendar full. After each stay, cleaners reset the space to hotel level standards, while maintenance crews check the property and fix anything that needs attention. From the first inquiry to the final goodbye, guests are greeted, supported, and managed by local staff. If any issues arise, they are handled on the ground, not by you at 3 a.m. in a different time zone. So they make all for themselves. From paying utility bills to refilling supplies or tending the garden, it's all part of the service. So different owners choose different levels of involvement. Some love to stay connected, approve bookings, and personally select their guests. Others simply hand the property over to a trusted agency with a see you next season attitude. And both approaches work perfectly well. Because Bali has been doing this for years. These systems are not experimental, they are polished. Many agencies have been managing homes for expats and seasonal owners for a decade or more. That's why so many people from abroad feels confident owning property here. They know their home is in good hands even when they are not around. So, interactive. If it were up to you, would you prefer to manage your place yourself or let a local team handle everything? Type myself or team in the chat. And this is not about micromanaging, it's about creating a system where your home quietly works for you in the backgrounds, stress free. And one of the Bali's biggest adventures is the never-ending flow of visitors. Unlike places with a tiny peak season, the island draws people year-round. That's not hype, it's geography, community and lifestyle. On Bali, the calendar doesn't close. The guests just change. Here is how it usually looks. Dry season, April, October. Families, vacationers, Australians and Europeans chasing sun. Lots of retreats and events. Rainy season, November, March. Digital nomads, long stayers, surfers hunting different swells. People escaping winter up north. Many prefer this season. Fewer crowds, lush green, softer pace. Each area attracts its own crowd. Sanur for sunrise and families, Uluwatu for cliffs and waves, Canggu for cafes and creative energy, Ubud for jungle, quiet and yoga. That's why homes rarely sit empty. The audience simply shifts with the weather. So, interactive. Which would you choose, dry season or rainy season? Vote below. And that's why owners don't obsess over, because low season, that's not okay. There's always someone who wants to be here. Let's get away from theory. Two real examples I've seen. So, story one, a young couple picked up a 60,000 euro apartment near the beach. Nothing flashy. Sunny living room, small kitchen, a balcony where you can hear the ocean at night. They live there December, March, work remotely, surf, breeze. And the rest of the year it booked for 801,000 euro a month. Not life changing money, but it pays for itself and then some flights, upkeep, scooter, food. Their winter home doesn't sit idle. Story 2. A friend brought a 150,000 villa. Two bedrooms, pool, open kitchen, think classic Bali vibe. Listed at 150 euros per night. High season is remote and fully booked. And over the year it brings 25-30,000 euros. And they still block 2-3 months for themselves. And it's not magic, just a rhythm that makes sense. So, interactive guys, if you had 200,000 euros, would you choose villa or bank? Type in the comments. These are not moguls, they are regular people who wanted their own base and made it sustainable. So, let me paint the day you might live. You wake to roosters and the soft rustle of palms, bare feet on cool tiles, a quick smoothie on the terrace. So morning light wrapped around your little garden. Laptop on. Your office is today's choice, a calm co-working space or your favorite coastal cafe. A few focused hours and you take a 2 euro coffee break. Grab 50 euro lunch, slide into the pool for 10 minutes and then finish your tasks. They've got a home by the sea and it practically carries its own weight. Evening arrives. Friends stop by, or long stay guests check in to the guest pavilion. The place is lived in and loved, and meanwhile, it covers its own costs. And this is not fantasy, it's an honest lifestyle model that balances joy and practicality. Interactive. If you woke up in your Bali home tomorrow, that's the first thing you do at the sunrise. Drop your answer in the comments. And here is a down to earth comparison. On Bali, solid apartment 500-800 euro months. Scooter 60 euro months. Lunch 4-6 euros. Coffee 2 euros. Ocean view free. In big European cities, rent 1,200 euros, 2,000 euros plus. Transit pass 1,800 euros. Lunch 12-15 euros. Coffee 4-6 euros. So when your home here also spends part of the year hosting guests, the numbers don't feel heavy, they feel balanced. Two coffees served with an ocean. This is why you see remote workers, founders, and families splitting the year, not because it's cheap, but because the value of quality of life Makes sense. So, interactive guys, what's good coffee in your city right now? Tell us. We'll tally the winner. And follow and stick around. Next time, I'll show you a full villa walkthrough with real numbers. So, my favorite part is watching how differently people shape this life. Digital nomads building products from beach cafes, families homeschooling under palm trees, turning their world into a classroom, entrepreneurs running companies remotely with sunrise stand ups, retirees shadowing sunset as a daily appointment. This is not escape, it's a new format. No one throwing their old life away. They're adding a second chapter, one where nature, freedom, and common sense meet. Homes here become part sanctuary, part sensible plan. It's not about chasing quick wins, it's about redesigning a rhythm that actually fits. So, interactive guys, what rhythm would suit you? 3 months, a year, 6 years, full time? Drop in the chart your answer. So, alright, friends, that's where I wrap things up for today. I really hope this gave you a little glimpse into what life here in Bali can feel like. Not just as a vacation, but as a rhythm that actually makes sense. You've seen the place, the life, the villas, and hopefully you can tell why so many people decide to make this island part of their lives, even if it's just for a few months or a year. Because here mornings start slow, days flow easy, and somehow life just feels lighter. It's not about escaping somewhere, it's about finally arriving where life feels right. If you enjoy this little journey, tap like or drop emoji in the chart. I always love hearing your thoughts. And make sure to stay around next time. I'll show you more of villas, the surroundings, and maybe even what daily life looks like behind the scenes. Take care of everyone. So, sending you sunshine, calm energy, and maybe a little push to finally make the deal real. See you soon from Bali, guys. Bye bye.